Hey, shiny stuff, and welcome to the first live stream. I'm gonna turn down my volume on my end because I can hear myself. All right, did that work? All right, you guys can still hear me on your end. I have another phone here on the side that I am using on this. So yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to work when it comes to those who are watching the stream. The way that it's set up right now, I can't see the chat. So let's see how there we have one chat here. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Shore Ever. I appreciate the heads up. Going back to the awesome. So I don't have my Bluetooth on me, so I'm gonna have to just do it this way. So for those of you who have been members of my channel for a while, you'll recognize the area from which I am streaming. And that area is called the Retroverse Nexus. It's my other channel where I do toy reviews, comic reviews, and things like that. So there, right there, you can see a backlog of a lot of the toys I still have to review. So we'll probably do this today for about 30 minutes or so. So around, so another 25 minutes on my time. So really excited to be able to do this live stream with you all, and I do know that today it's Thursday. This is kind of a test to see the equipment and how it works, and make sure that it all is working correctly. And let me go ahead and start looking through here. I haven't done this yet. Yeah, so far it looks like the equipment side is working. I am getting a little bit of feedback sound wise. So let me go ahead and try to hide that over there. That should do it. Yeah, I'm not able to get rid of the echo, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. And I think I got a message here. Yeah. So if you're, go ahead and use the chat. I am able to look at the chat. Let me go ahead and put it on Do Not Disturb. There. That's better. So yeah, if you go ahead and use the chat, I can look at the chat over on my other phone, but on this phone, I'm not able to. So I'm not sure if that notification I heard is yeah. So go ahead, if you are joining the stream right now, go ahead and add something to the chat and I'll be able to answer it there. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to hear anything when it comes to the let me go ahead and try to mute this other phone. Does that work? No, it didn't work. I'm just having a little bit of echo in the background, but I mean, it is what it is. They can't stop that. Yeah, so if you have anything you want to talk about, anything you want to say, any requests of like strategies and whatnot you want to look at. Sorry, seasonal allergies have gotten the best of me. If you have anything like that, go ahead and put it down in the chat. I am logged in on my wife's Discord account, so I'll be able to see the chat over there. As of right now, with the way the Discord live streams are set up, I can't check the chat while I'm playing the game in the game, but that's fine. So, and I know we had some members of an enemy union really wanting me to go and click on dimensional battle here. I'm not going to be doing that. Just I think my teammates at Revolution would appreciate me not doing that. That was a fun discussion we had last night. Um, all right, for those of you who are newcomers to the Veteran Pigeons channel, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself a little bit. My name is Shiny Sephiroth. I am a up and coming YouTuber. Decided to invest some into this game, and I thought it was a really fun game. At the time, I thought it was very uh, time sensitive, wherein it wouldn't take too much of my time to play this game, because you can go on autopilot, you can do this and the other. But as I learned after a few months, this game does take quite a lot. Um, so yeah, but for my day job, my actual job, I work in healthcare administration. I also do some stuff for a medical nonprofit, and I'm also CEO of a biotech startup. So those take up a lot of my time, and that's actually one of the reasons I I was moved from the Union Prometheus over to Revolution. I'm not able to be consistent on my DB or QI hits. So I went to a union that's still very competitive, very strong. But if there are some mess ups and goof ups every now and then, it's not that big of a deal. And I keep hearing these notifications, but I'm not sure. Okay, so from what I'm able to tell, this is what my screen looks like right now. I'm not able to see a lot of it, but I am saying, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm seeing some people are joining the chat. For those of you who just joined in, please know that as you can see, the way that the stream is set up, I'm not able to see the chat on this screen or the voice. But if you go ahead and you click on the chat, I see Trunk is typing. So yeah, I can see what's going on in the chat over there. And like I said earlier, before some of you guys joined in, my throat is really raspy right now. There's some seasonal allergies that have been hit, so it's not been fun on my throat. But yeah, we also, like I mentioned, Trunk is in the chat. He is an awesome guy, an awesome resource for you to learn from. If I recall correctly from my last conversation with him, and my apologies if I'm misgendering you, please let me know if you have different pronouns that you prefer to go by. But yeah, if you go ahead and see some of the comments he posted on my YouTube channel, for those of you who don't know about it, it's called Seeking Advice from Veteran Pigeons. If you go over to my YouTube channel, you see a conversation I had with him in one of the recent videos. And from what I recall, he's a VIP 10 who is on chapter 47. So, for those of you who remember way back when, I was really hyping a guy named Sensei Henley from my old union. And he was able to very early on in the game get very far at VIP 10. So, that is a huge badge of honor and props to you. I really look forward to speaking more with you. You're Oz. You can't offend me. All right, that sounds great, man. Hello, the echo is likely coming from your wife's Discord. Can you hear the echo as well? If you can, my apologies. And yeah, that's where the echo is on my end. I was hoping you guys couldn't hear that either. If you can, then I'm going to have to figure out a different way to do this so that, yeah, like I said, today is a hello, hello. Nope, still there, echo there on my end. Yeah, her mic isn't on, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and yeah, it's the way that her phone is set up right now, it's saying that she has to. Is that better? No, it's not better. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay. Let me see what's going on here. Is that better? Holy Moses. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties. So, if that's better, I hope so. But yeah, so if I'm mispronouncing this, Jorge or Hori, as asking how long I've been playing the game. I joined August of 2022, so it's been about 22 months, 21 months, something like that. And yeah, it's been a fun game. Um I highly recommend. And if anybody's ever seen my channel, they know that I'm talking about this. I highly. Oh, it's fixed now. Thank goodness. Thank you so much for letting me know, Tronk. So yeah, I highly recommend. My face is way too close to the camera. I highly recommend that you see this game as a marathon and not a sprint. I used to be a sprinter. I mean, my face right here, I'm a little pudgy right now, but I promise you, I used to be a runner when I was younger. I used to be a sprinter, and I also used to be a marathon runner. Two very different ways that you can see things, and different ways that you can tackle long distance and your goals. When it comes to marathons, you don't want to burn out too quickly. You want to go slow and steady. And here's an example of going slow and steady. And some people might scoff and laugh at this. Look at that. 21, 22 months. I finally got my succubus to transcend plus plus. And the reason why is because I focus, not here, home world. I focus mostly on this to get my Anna cards. I mean, I easily, oh, that and also, let's go to the bag here, this right here. So I do a combination of the monthly or every month and a half, you get a free card. If you get the shard pieces that you can request, actually, right here, I'm waiting for some shard pieces here. If anybody here from my union is here and hasn't donated yet, please donate so I can get the cards. But yeah, so I go really slow with it. If there's something I can get for free from the game, I take advantage of it. Succubus is one of those characters that I've been slowly working toward. I mean, even here, you can see on the monthly, there are other characters that I can't get as quote unquote easily from the game. So I go ahead and I focus on getting it done here so that I can get it for technically free. Okay, yeah, it looks like Trunk does the same thing. And yeah, really, I appreciate your help. And I haven't, Trunk, I haven't dived in to your comment from the other day. I haven't had time. But I did notice you're talking about Laura. I've seen a lot of people say that when you get to the end game, Laura, like you said, is dead weight. The way my team is set up right now, and I don't know if that's an unfortunate thing. Laura is she's at the top now. She didn't used to be. But something happened that she's at the top. She's still my number one fighter. I have been debating, and your comment the other day did trigger me to think even harder on it, on maybe distributing some of her equipment to others, or seeing if that's even something that needs to be done. But right now, oh, that's why. Right now, she jumped up to number one because I put a scythe on her. So for those of you who have been following the channel, you're going to see that there is some continuity that you've missed out on. And over the next few weeks, you're going to catch up and see how it got to this point. But I'm quite a bit stronger than I was than you've seen in the recent YouTube videos. And actually, let me go ahead and see if I can give you a sneak peek. Right here, let's go to YouTube. So for those of you who are wondering why things are out of sync, uh, if you see over here, there's like right here for yesterday's video, there's a globe. That means that is a live video. Everything else that has a clock on it are videos that I have already recorded and are set to premiere. And so you see right now, and I still have a few in my backlog. I'm at July 17th for videos that I have yet to film. And one of the reasons I do that is because it makes it a lot easier for me. For those of you who came in late, I have an extensive career that I'm working on at the moment, and I'm also a PhD student. So time is not my best friend. So when I get a chance to record a video, I record it, I edit it, and then I throw it on to the queue. So that's why there's some continuity errors, and you don't know how I got to certain points. But one thing I want to go through in this live stream is tackling number one. I've tried a few times, and I was really disheartened at first. And this goes back to, and I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, Jorge's comment, wherein they were saying, how long have you been playing the game? And I answered, well, sometimes it's a marathon, sometimes it's a sprint. what's going on here is, like I said, I was disheartened at first, but then I noticed a lot of people who are very much stronger than I am are also stuck on 47-1. And then we have some people stuck on 47-2, and some who just barely, I think it was last night, made it to 47-3. Specifically, I think it was Onyx Ghost. Onyx, congratulations for getting it that far. But yeah, all these people are significantly stronger than me, and they're still struggling on this. So, I mean, I'd say don't stress it. The game is supposed to be fun, and it's kind of like playing chess, in my opinion. You're trying to figure out the moves, you're trying to figure out what direction to take things, and um, yeah, then you're like, okay, well, that one didn't work, that one didn't quite work. So I've tried a number of days now to get past this one, and for those of you who don't know, this is why it's so hard. You need 5 teams. It is crazy. I'm trying to distribute my DPS, and I know, glimpsing this, this is not a good team. One time, I was able to get the setup right, and the RNG was in my favor, and I was able to get to round 5, and that team got decimated. And once again, sorry about the cough. So yeah, that team got decimated, but it was fun. I mean, I didn't stress out or anything. It's not like when I was in high school and I was on the wrestling team, and I get really bummed out or upset or angry when I lost a match, because I mean, this is low stakes. It's a game. Of course, there are some of you who are in very competitive teams, and you're trying to progress as quickly as possible. And if that's the case, I don't have a lot of suggestions because that's not my play style. I don't like to get overly stressed out. A game is supposed to be something that you unwind and decompress, and that's my view on it. I try to be a little more zen for it. You can even ask my wife. I'm using her phone right now, but if she were here, she could tell you I used to be one of those angry gamers. You know how sometimes you can go on YouTube and find those rage clips? In my younger days, I was like that. Halo 3, oh my gosh, throwing controls. Like, are you serious? This is so stupid. And actually, for those of you who also follow my channel, you know that I've mentioned that I want to start playing other games. I really hope that side of me doesn't come out. Of course, it would probably up my subscriber count because people want to come in and see people raging like this one gamer called Elite Death. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me go back here to the chat. Uh, I got all mine from Homeworld Spin. Okay, yeah. Tronk did the same thing. You use her as a tank. That's very interesting. I like that. That's a cool strategy. For those of you who are a little bit newer to the game and don't know some of the terminology, you can have like a sweeper. And that's somebody who is strong, but they mostly focus on knocking out opponents when they're at their lowest and when they're already chipped away quite a bit. And you can have tanks. Tanks are usually like your defender people who you use to absorb a lot of the damage and make sure that the rest of the team can survive. And depending on the teams that you're doing, you want to be able to have a balance. As you can see right here, um, you can see I got like the tank for my first team would be Lucas. And so he's the one who is helping support and make sure a lot of the damage is mitigated. But this team is more of a quicker team, and this one wins 100% of the time on this match. So for those of you who are sitting there criticizing, saying that team looks garbage, it wins 100% of the time. All right. Geez Louise, I sound like JoJo Siwa right now. Yeah. Anyway, so Pierre is over here, and he would be the sweeper on this team, or the assassin, or whatever you want to call it. And so he does this. He's very powerful, and he does chip damage to help support Indira. So in Tronk's version of the team, I don't know who else he would have, but his tank for this team, if it's an Indira focused team, would be Anna and Succubus. Unfortunately, mine's not at Immortal Awakened yet. So I haven't been able to experiment. And for those of you who don't understand the terminology, I'm trying to make sure I don't use too much jargon that new players might not know. So right here, you see Anna and Succubus, and you see that she is at Transcend Plus Plus. If you Yeah, and then if you look over here, these two heroes are immortal. Immortal is the last step of being able to complete your character. And so she is one step away from that. But if you also look here on the corner, there's something called your awakened skill. So you will, it's technically another level after immortal. So if you look at the awakened skill, you will need two more of the card after you get to immortal. And you will also need to have a legendary red card to sacrifice and feed to make that happen. So that you can unlock the awakened skill. So a lot of times I'll say, "Oh, this character isn't yet at Immortal Awakened," and that's what I mean. Immortal Awakened is fully unlocked and ready to go. So let me go back here to the chat. What are your top 6 heroes best for Union War that you can recommend to build for player to player and free to play? Player to player, using business terms. Uh, P2P, pay to P. I like to say P to W, pay to win. So pay to play and free to play. All right, so top 6 teams for Union War. Let's see here. Let's go ahead here. Let's look at Union War and enter the battlefield. Here is my current team, and this is a pay-to-win account. Of course, actually, I think that I am more in the pay-to-play because I don't spend near enough money to win anything. So on this team here, this is the team I like to use, or actually, this is the team I'm experimenting with this week. Normally, what I would have done is taken out Lucas, and I would have put either Lucadia or Kong. And the reason I do that is because it increases speed, both of those characters. Kong has my Lucadia is only at Epic Plus, so I don't have all of the skills and all of the stuff that gives her the super advantage that she gets for higher levels. But she does provide, especially if you have her like fully leveled up, she provides a bigger speed and attack increase than Kong does. But Kong, if I recall correctly, also has some defensive abilities. So when you're theory crafting and when you're trying to build your optimal team, one of the things you have to do is look at their skills. So you see right here that this is his normal attack. And then right here, this is a very important one. Once you have 9 out of 9 relics, and here are your relics right here. And every character has their, you can equip any relic you want, but if you have their specific relic that has their name and their face attached to it, you can unlock bonuses down here. For instance, mine has technically 10 out of 9 relics. And with that, I increase all of my allies' attack by 30% and their speed. And one of the cool things about Kong is right here, he also reduces the target's armor by 8%. So he also makes it easier to hit them. So he's really a fantastic character to have. And until you get Lucadia up and running, he's probably, with his defensive skills that he gives, he's probably the better person to shoot for Union War. And so for Laura right here, this is one of the reasons why she's so good. For the most part, she is invincible. If you focus on your speed, and speed is such an important facet of playing against other players, not so much when you're playing against the computer for like X War or things like that. But when you're playing against other players, you want to have speed because although Laura is invincible at the beginning of the match, she's only invincible at the beginning of the match if she is faster than an enemy Laura. If you have an enemy Laura who is faster, then that Laura will hit you before your invincibility jumps in. And one of the reasons that you would want to put Laura in the #1 slot is because of her invincibility. A lot of people use Toko and Mecha Valkyrie, and especially if Mecha Valkyrie's in the #1 or the #4 slot. And when I mean slots, I mean right here, like right there, you see that's the #4 slot. That's the #1 slot. So if you have over here, you can see these fairy dust on #4. If you have a Mecha Valkyrie here, or if you have a Toko anywhere on the map,
Laura will be able to, for the first round, and then 3 rounds later, gain the invincibility again if she survives, be able to be invincible and absorb that damage. So that's why a lot of people still use Laura in that slot. So for me, I'm experimenting with this team right here because I want to up my defense and I'm trading in speed for defense. I did a team similar to this last week and it did decently. I believe it was one of the prolific players in the game. Some people would call them mega whales. And whales are those who just have very big, powerful accounts. So if you were trying to fight a whale, they're just too big and massive and you can't do anything to them. And so mega whale, like I would be considered a whale, but these mega whales are people who are just very, very powerful. I believe Krob was the one who took down my teams in the last Union War. Very, very strong, very powerful person. And if you want to see how powerful some of these whales can get, let me take you over here to Legend. And yeah, right here. Look at this guy here. Oh, there's Krob right there. 770 million overall power points. My power points are in the 300s. I think the low 300s. Got this guy here, Waldo's Revenge. 1,019 million power. I mean, that would be like if Godzilla showed up to your house and the government said, fist fight Godzilla. It's just not going to happen. And then you have others like here, Canucks, and then Domsky over here. That's pretty close to my power level. And when you're at that point, then you just move your teams around, trying to hope that your strategy is going to out strategize the other guy and win. The battles there are a lot more even and more strategy based. Yeah, so for free to play players, when it comes to Union War, I would highly recommend Camp, Houston. I believe Thinker is still very easily attainable for a free to play player. Rockefeller, Sally. Sally is like the free to play, kind of free to play version of Forest Dancer and Indira. I would really recommend having Sally on your team. Rockefeller, like I said, is another good one. He's a real good tank, and he can paralyze the other team. And if you can get yourself a high enough, like a level 20 maybe, Angel Wings through free to play game, Panda is really, really good as well. And then sticking some Angel Wings on Panda, I mean, it's very hard to do damage to Panda. So I highly recommend investing in Panda, into Houston, Rockefeller, Sally. I just realized some of you might not know who some of these people are. So here's Rockefeller. And for those of you who don't have the skin, here's what Rockefeller looks like in his base form. So that guy, I would recommend Houston. And you see, I have quite a few Houston. That's because when you're attacking other people in Union War, you can only use a character once in your attack. But if you have multiple versions of that character, then you can use the other versions as well. So both for defense, especially offense, though, Houston is fantastic. We already talked about Camp at length, maybe ad nauseum. And then we have, where did she go? She that down low. Wow, there she is. So for those of you who don't recognize her here, here's what she looks like in her base form. I forgot about this skin. Cool. Yeah, so I recommend using her. Yeah, so actually, let's go to portraits and look at some other S rank characters. So I think that Lucy is another really good one to have because she amplifies the attack from the back row. So that's really good. Something that you can do that kind of, if you can get him strong enough, he'll kind of take people off, is Kuipan. Very easy to build up. And he heals your team and gives them a shield when his HP lowers to a certain point. And on top of that, he cures all status effects. So if you're tangled or paralyzed or silenced or anything like that, he will get you out of that jam. And here's Panda, like I was speaking about before. He already has very natural dodging abilities. And I mean, I think his inspiration was Jack Black's Panda from Kung Fu Panda. And if you remember in that movie, he, even though he's a large guy, he's very nimble, very active. And so I feel like if we were watching this game in real time and you could see the characters moving and whatnot, you would see that he would probably be very agile like Jack Black's Panda. Um, I know this character gets a lot of flack, and we all have our jokes about him, especially on the Facebook page. But in reality, I think that he is a pretty decent hero, especially if you can't get Thinker. He really helps with damage sharing, meaning that if somebody's getting attacked, he will take on some of that damage. He's kind of bulky, especially for an S card, a free to play character. Yeah, this person here. Honestly, she is as good as an S plus card. You need to heavily invest and make sure that you get an IV. She is just fantastic, especially when you get her to Immortal Awakened, when you get some of her other skills in there, or if you can equip her with some good artifacts like the time cycle artifact. She almost 100% is able to take people down and entangle them for 2 turns. I mean, as you can see here, mine isn't even maxed out, and she is just fantastic. I use her sometimes, even at the high levels that I'm at, and she's effective. So when I'm talking about player to player, when it comes to X War and you're playing against the computer, she is 100% vital for you to be able to beat X War, Galaxy Wanted. She's just fantastic. So thanks for asking. I hope that gives some suggestions and hints for those who are free to play. Gronk said that something I said at some point in this stream was smart. Thank you. I didn't expect strong players to get stuck in an export for a long time. Yeah, it's very, very common for strong players to get stuck here, as you can see right here. And that's nothing to be ashamed about. I remember back, so I started spending heavily in this game about a year ago, and that was specifically to build the YouTube channel so I could be somebody who could kind of pioneer the way for other players. And I saw it as an investment. I'm a business person. I have a doctorate in business administration. So, and I run a couple of different companies, like I mentioned. So I use that business mindset to take this on. I thought, hey, I have a ton of fun playing this game. So I'll go ahead and, turn it into a little business venture so I can have my cake and eat it too. So yeah, so before I was spending a lot in this game, I think there was like an 8-month period that I was free to play, and I was making progress. At times, it was as quick as I'm doing now, because the thing is, when you start paying and you go to pay to play, then you start going up levels quickly at first, and then you go at the same rate that you were doing before, because you meet up with these bosses and these levels that are just as hard as it was when you were free to play. So, I mean, your gaming experience will change depending on what you're doing, and the cool thing is, if you can do pay to play for a little bit of time just to get up to a certain level, and then you stop for a very long time like I had in the past, and I've actually cut back a lot of my spending right now even too, you can still progress slowly but surely. Like I said, it's a marathon. Nobody's trying to get to the end of the game as quickly as possible. You don't need to be trying to get to the end of the game as quickly as possible, especially on X War. It's not a race. I mean, it's just you versus the computer. So even if there's other people who beat all 53,000 levels that there are, it doesn't affect you and your enjoyment of the game. So I'd say take it like playing chess. You're sitting there and you're strategizing, like, okay, here's what's going on here. So like I said, Ivy, super fantastic player. So I thought, okay, so I have Ivy here. I want to paralyze this team as quickly as possible, because that Joker in the middle in slot number 1 here. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can see some fairy dust. That Joker right there, he can hit really hard, and these others can as well. I mean, this Terminator guy here, this fake Arnold Schwarzenegger, he can hit your entire team at once. So if I want to be able to shut this team down, I put Ivy in here, and then I want to, and I know these guys have some strong defense too. So if I want to increase my attack as well as decrease their defense, I'm going to put Houston in there. And then Indira can hit very hard, and she can hit a lot of people at once. So that's going to be somebody that can help out. And then I'm going to put Alpha in here to help pick up any stragglers that Ivy isn't able to paralyze. Lucas is in there to increase the team's defense, and then Pierre is there to make sure that whoever Indira hits with her chip damage, and maybe they didn't quite die, he'll jump in there with his ghost attack, and he'll hammer away and kill them or knock them out. But here, I mean, this team, in the past, up through chapter 46, this was, in variations of it, was my best team. And I'm having a hard time now. I went and I've tried it from here. I've tried it from here, and I figured that this team is the strongest after team number one, and so I'm trying to hit this one, and I'm able to beat it sometimes, but the majority of the time I'm not. So I'm still theory crafting. I'm moving things around and working on improving this team, and that's part of the fun. So there's no reason to sit like, oh man, I can't beat 47-1. I can't beat 35. I can't beat this, that, and the other. I mean, it's just like, okay, I haven't beaten it yet. This is like a mind teaser. I'm gonna figure you out, and then when you do, you get that shot of dopamine. Like, yeah, I did it. I'm a smart guy, and yeah, you're good to go. Yeah, so yeah, that's a really good point. Thanks, Jorge. Let's see. And then Tronk replies saying that Giles, Lucas, Time, if you have Orb for Lucas, Julia Camp, Baron, or another carry. Yeah, that's a really good point. Actually, mentioning Orb. For those of you who are pay to play, you can see that there is this right here. And so for every 180 days that you are a part of certain aspects of the pay to play community, you get one of these pieces. And then you can, once you get 180 of these, so that's 6 months. I say 3 months earlier, I meant 6. So once you have 6 months worth of those shards, you can get a second artifact. As of right now, my goal is to get Orb as the second artifact. And just leveling it up to level 20. I do have a level 30 orb, and the benefits of a level 30 orb is that right out of the gate, it gives your character its ultimate attack. So if you notice, let me go ahead and just get decimated with this right here, just to show you an example. Watch, this is going to be like one of the one times I lose this match. So you see right here, you have a little yellow bar at the bottom of under your health. And once you get that yellow bar up, like Ivy just did, the next time she attacks, she will do her ultimate attack. So for those of you who have played other RPGs in the past, like Final Fantasy VII, you have the limit break, and so the ultimate is kind of the limit break for that person. So you can see right here, Pierre just did his ultimate, and from what I'm looking like here up front, I'm not going to win this one. It's not looking good, but I mean, it is what it is. So you can see, like, when you level up people a certain way, when you build them up a certain way, you can kind of predict what they're going to do and set things up so that your team can do things in a certain way. And okay, maybe I will be this one. And so we see here, bam, bam, bam. And oh, no, and we're done. Ah, that was close though. So I want to show you a harder one though. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. Watch, I'm going to lose 2 out of 2 in a row. No, I didn't. Dang it. Actually, no, that's good. So let's go ahead and check here for this one. That was a really slow load. That's weird. So what's going to happen here is the reason I moved Godslayer to the far left-hand side is because his ricochet that he does after every round was triggering Kuipan anyway. And so I was wasting a lot of damage on the far right-hand side, trying to take them down, and they would be whittled down to very little HP, and then Kuipan would be activated and they'd be fully healed again. So my thought process as of right now is get Kuipan activated and out of the way as quickly as possible so that when I start damaging other people, then I can not sit there and fear that a combination of alpha not Alpha, Afra and Kuipan are going to heal the entire team. There's a lot of optimization I need to do to this team. I think I need to switch out Baron. I mean, yeah, that Medusa is so strong. I think I need to switch out Baron for some other DPS. It's just the defense in this team is just a little too good, but that's okay. But if you, let's go ahead and repeat that right there. If you could see Godslayer right here, the golden paladin guy, his ultimate, his limit break went all the way up right at the beginning of the match because of his orb. But the cool thing is, anybody behind him in the same column, you see the fairy dust a little bit right here. So time right here is behind. So you have the time. Whoever's behind him, they get 50 points toward their ultimate. And so, with time sitting behind him, he is able to quite consistently get time to re-up his ultimate. And time's ultimate is getting the person with the most attack their ultimate up, and so they can feed off of each other in sort of a symbiotic relationship. It's really cool. Or if you just want or a lot of firepower, you'll put somebody like Kinley or Godslayer in front of somebody like Forest Dancer and get them to ult really quickly in the beginning of the round. So I mean, like I said, there's a lot of different strategy. I'm not trying to get too advanced here, but just to explain some of the things for those of you who are new. Thanks for, yeah, I'm really excited to have gotten to chapter 47. Yeah, Laura can be a tank sometimes. The only place that Tronk said that he uses Anna is in reincarnation. Yeah, very, very important mode here in the game. We'll talk about that in a second. She requires too much investment to be impactful otherwise. Okay. Speed order is important for X4, but the scale of the numbers, not so much. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Jorge says, if you're still here, if you're not, there will be a video of this on my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to see any answers you might have missed. Another thing I'm curious about is Folklore not in your Union War lineup, or maybe I just didn't notice. No. So Folklore is, every character has two names. And so his given name, his birth name is Folklore, but his battle name is Godslayer, or when he's a paladin, kind of like Cecil in Final Fantasy IV. He was the Dark Knight, and then he became a warrior of light. And I feel like that's the inspiration for him. The normal paladin journey. Now he's a good guy, so he's either the Light Warden, and that's a fun name, Warden, or he is the Godslayer, for those of you who recognize him better this way. So, no, I do not have Godslayer in my Union War lineup. I used to, and I mean, I still see some benefit for having him. And the reason I took him out is because of the introduction of this character right here, Julia, aka Forest Dancer. So with her, and I think that she was created as an answer to Godslayer. When Godslayer does his limit break, his HP drops, I think, to 50%. Especially if you are using orb or time, something like that, to get him to ultimate in the first round. Automatically, Forest Dancer, she has this passive attack that she just kind of goes and she pecks at people during the round. Very, very frustrating. Kind of like what you saw Indira doing in the last battle, where she was just chip damaging and lightning people. Forest Dancer goes and she just hits over and over again, and she targets the first person that she targets is the person with the lowest HP. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped using Godslayer in player versus player matches, because everybody and their dog in the higher echelons of competition are using Forest Dancer. And like I mentioned, I stopped, I haven't been paying as much in the game as I did in the past. So I've fallen behind a lot of my contemporaries, and they've been able to go up. And there's this relatively newer aspect of the game, especially for us older fogies who have been around for a couple of years. And these are the relics, not the relics, the gems. And these gems can up your power significantly. And the majority of the people who are very, very competitive in the game have all all of their gems at 5 stars. And so when you get to 5 stars, not only does it massively increase your damage immunity for that character, it also unlocks another core skill. And if you pick the right one for her, it makes Forest Dancer so hard to beat. And so with everybody who is really competitive using Forest Dancer, I personally felt that Godslayer, uh, it wasn't the best for me. And maybe if I spent more money in the game and beefed him up more, or I beefed up my Forest Dancer to be faster and stronger, that could mitigate things. But where I am right now for Folklore, aka Godslayer Light Warden, I don't feel like he's the best for me in my current team lineup. But and I might be wrong. I might be looking at this the wrong way. Let's see here. Folklore is weak without time and also weak to Julia. Trunk beat me to the punch. Is he not any more useful when it comes to whale versus whale in war? It depends. For instance, I'm not going to show you my full teams because we can still change things around. But when you go over here to the Dominator Championship, you go to your defensive team, and you can see that you have 3 different teams that you're playing up against somebody from another team. And you see one of my former, I'm actually concerned about him, Fafo. He's one of my former um, union mates. I think it looks like he moved to a different union recently. Breezer, come back. Well, I miss you, Fafo. You're a good player. And I'm concerned that you're going to beat the tar out of me here. But yeah, so that's why I'm not showing all 3 teams in case Fafo happens to be watching the live stream. I don't want them knowing what my team setup is. So we have this here. It's 3-on-3. They get 3 teams. You get 3 teams. And for me, I do use Godslayer in here in the hopes that my earlier team will take out their Forest Dancer before Forest Dancer gets to me. So Folklore is very important to PvP, as well as here in the Legend Championship. Here you have 5 teams that you're going. So it's 5-on-5. And so I do, and it is a little bit of a lottery in this mode. You don't know where you're going to, after with the last 3 teams, you don't know what the enemy's teams are looking like. And so, actually, I just messed that up. Hey, everybody. Yes, this is my setup. Yeah, you got me there. That's my setup for Union War. Not Union War, for Legend Group. So if anybody is trying to figure out how to, I'm after this live stream, I'm going to switch the teams around just in case. Yeah. So you'll have more success with Godslayer if time has more speed. That is true. Yeah. My personal preference is to have Godslayer be faster than time, because if you do that, then Godslayer, especially if he has Orb, Godslayer will use his ultimate first, power up time if time needs it, unless he has the time stone on him. But anyway, he goes first. And then if you have this skill on him right here, this talent, sorry. If you have this right here, you have a chance of going twice. And then his orb will activate time. Time will then activate you again. So you potentially have the ability to go 3 times, ultimate 3 times in the first round with Godslayer if he is faster than time. So that's my personal preference. I know other people have different preferences. I know some people like to do Fearless Persistence on Godslayer because it increases his defense and it gets him to be stronger in the round, and you don't have to wait for Ghost Curse to improve things after the round. Oh yeah, not a problem, and thanks for the question. Waldo, oh yeah, yeah, Waldo is going to stomp literally everybody. There are a lot of players who are close to his level, though. His or her, sorry, I keep assuming genders. If I offended anybody, I apologize. I know Trunk is Australian and Trunk isn't offended, but if there are some of you people who are offended, my apologies. I'm a Zennial, an older millennial, so I'll do better. Um, So yeah, there's that. And so we have about 5 minutes left in the stream before my lunch break is over, and I have to head back to working. But let's see right here. Some of the things I haven't that I saved for the live stream. Let's go ahead right here. Today is the last day. Let's see if we can get anything cool from this in our last bid. Do 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 do. Really? That's the wow. Okay. That was so anticlimactic. If you do have the spare money, I think that this is a good deal here. And then you get the final. I recommend it. So let's go there. And then get these right here. I don't need the ice cream anymore. And anything here? Or am I done here? Oh, I have just to do some of these challenge quests to get to level 30 and finish that attack out. I haven't done Galaxy Temple yet. And I was going to show Galaxy Temple, but yeah, let's go ahead and look at Lost Land. Ta-da! Yeah, so Jorge. Am I pronouncing that wrong? I feel so stupid because there are a lot of different countries and a lot of different places. Languages use the letter H differently. Like in Spanish, it's not pronounced, so it might be Ore. I don't know. Yeah, I speak three languages, but I don't recognize that name, and maybe it's just a screen name. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling about languages. Who cares? So for Annihilate, um, I can't access it because I beat it. That's one of the gripes I have with the game is there are some modes that once you beat it, you can't go back, you can't look at your recordings, you can't look at your setup, so that kind of stinks. However, if you go to YouTube and you put in quotation marks. If you put in quotation marks, seeking advice from veteran pigeons, you will find my YouTube channel, and I have a lot of Lost Land videos on there that show what my team setup was. For instance, I think it was a week or two ago, I posted the video showing me beating Annihilate, and it doesn't. I don't believe it has my full team. I might, but I don't think it does. But you can see some of my teams there. One of the things I highly suggest is changing your teams around for every level. Another thing that is a really good tip and a hint to get through things. I didn't use this for Annihilate, but I did use it for, I think it was Transcend, is using Divine Prayer if you have it. So if you have a character who gets really injured in one round, get them and put them in your back row, equip them with Divine Prayer so that when the round starts, it will heal your character back up. And that's a really good way to get around certain things. Or if you see that you have a really strong character who ends their round with an unused ultimate and you feel like the next team you can beat without them, then save that character for later for a harder team. So maybe you can start off one round with a whole bunch of really strong players, all with their limit break, their ultimate, and then pound through. That was key for me to beat Transcend. And of course, if you don't have Ivy yet or don't have her at a good level, I'd say investing the resources that you have, whether you're free to play or pay to play, investing resources into IV. IV is really, really key to helping beat Lost Land, in my opinion. I've heard some dings. Let me see if I have anything here. Oh, Trunk speaks. Oh, haha. No, there is some truth to that. I mean, those are very different dialects of English. Like, I have two native tongues. It's Portuguese and English. My brother's the same way, and he ended up marrying somebody from Angola, where they speak Portuguese. We were raised with Brazilian Portuguese, and Portugal Portuguese is to Brazilian Portuguese what UK English is to US English. And so he has now adopted that accent and that Portuguese language. And whenever we talk, sometimes, oh yes, you're using Brazilian Portuguese. I speak the more correct version. And I mean, it sounds more prim and proper and whatnot. But just like with UK English, they say aluminium. I mean, if you see how aluminum is spoiled, what the flip is spelled, there is no extra I to make it So aluminium doesn't make sense. That's not how it's spelled. So anyway, you can do language and dialect wars all day long. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and we'd love to have you in the channel. At the moment I'm posting daily. There's always a video there to look at. So before I end the stream, let's go ahead and jump into a just one round of Galaxy Temple, for those of you who are here. And honestly, I don't know if there's only 2 people here or if there's 10. I have no idea because the way the Discord does the live streams, I can't check on it while I'm doing this. However, if you want to help me be able to live stream on YouTube, where I'll be able to have a much easier time doing this, please subscribe to the channel. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers on Seeking Advice for Veteran Pigeons, then I will be able to live stream on YouTube and make this whole setup a whole lot easier. Also, another plug for my other channel, it's called the Retroverse Nexus, and that's where I go. As you can see here, there are all these toys and comic books and everything that I'm reviewing. This is a brand new room that I'm using, and it's in the middle of being constructed. But if you want to go and if you like comic books and things like that, go ahead and subscribe there. I'd really appreciate seeing people from one community in both communities. It'd be really fun. But anyway, so let's go ahead. I'm going to pick Panda up front and put them in the number 1 slot, and you'll see why here in a second. And then Ivy will go in the number 4 slot. I'm going to put him in the front row as well as Camp. Actually, no, I'm going to put him in the front row, and then I will use Groot and Houston in the back row. So the reason I do this, the first team that you go up against in Galaxy Temple will always have a Mayan warrior in the number 4 slot, and he devastates anybody in the column in front of him. So you're 1 and 4. So I put Panda there in the number 1 slot, and then Ivy in the number 4 slot, so that if he does knock out Ivy right out of the gate, then Ivy will paralyze the other team and allow for Groot to do his massive skill damage attack and wipe everybody out. I'll do him as a support and him as another tank support. You can see that I lucked out here. Both of them have phantom stigmas, and that's really going to increase their defense. And the Ivy that I was given has the charm stigs, so that really increases her ability to control the other team. So let's go ahead and go here. I do have it on 8 times speed, and I do have to apologize for those of you who are watching this as a recording and not as a live stream. You're not going to be able to see this battle. Most everything else you've seen up to this point has been a recreation, because I can right now on my other device, I'm recording the chat so I can see the chat, but I'm unable to see the this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over to the actual game. I'm going to leave the chat just for a bit so that we can see what's going on here. All right, there you go. So you didn't lose anything. Those of you who are watching it after the recording, because who the heck cares about round 1? That's the easy round. So that's Sage over here is one of the monkey. That is one of the ones you really want to get. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of both of my Tchaikovskys. And I honestly don't think Groot or Behemoth are going to help me in future rounds, so I'm getting rid of them as well. I don't know what I'm going to get in the quote-unquote raffle for the next round. So I'm going to keep Houston and Ivy, but I'm going to get rid of Panda as well. So that, and you'll see why in a second. So then I'm going to buy the Monkey Sage. And so I have 70 points right now going into the next round. And I'm not going to refresh because I'm going to get a free refresh by clicking next round. And the more of these gem things that you have, right out of the gate, and then you click challenge, the more gems you get for your in-between bonus. So I usually don't have a good pick right out of the gate after round 1. So I usually start off this round with 102 of these, whatever they're called, monies. So now I have 84. I feel pretty confident that I can. Oh, yay, we did it. Dun, da, 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 da. So I feel pretty confident that I can beat the next round with just these three. If IV is able to paralyze everybody, it might be a mistake, but I'm going to risk it. Let's go ahead and here. And hopefully they'll trigger her. I'd prefer it if they triggered her in round two, because usually she only gets triggered at the end of round one, and so it becomes a waste. But as you can see, that happened there. So so far so good. It's close, but I think we're going to be able to win. And okay, this is close. All right. All right, so we did that. So the reason I did that was so I could get some more money. I'm going to sell this for now. It might be a mistake, but I'm going to do that. And I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to buy this just in case we get darkness later. Darkness using the time stone is very important. And don't need to use that now. And all right, there's that. So next round, we're going to get 22 monies. So now we're over here. I don't know if he's good or not. I didn't really use him in the trial. Dispels control effect. I'm going to skip him. I'm going to skip him. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And I know a lot of people on Facebook have been split on whether or not she's good. I personally don't like her, and that's probably because I'm brain dead and not using her correctly. But I wasn't a big fan. There's that again. I'm not going to invest in that right now. I'm going to keep the one I have. My heavens, the game really wants me to use her. And there's probably people right now in the chat like, oh no, what are you doing? Use her, what are you doing? So I'm going to do that for now. And hopefully her tankiness will be enough. Actually, let me go ahead and no reason to keep this unused right now. So I'll do that so he can start attacking earlier on. And I'll put her there. So when I've actually, you know what? Like I said, I want Ivy to survive at least until round two. So I'll put her in the back, and hopefully we can have not Indira, well, Light go and absorb a lot of the damage through round one, so that we can then paralyze people. And then Mecha Valkyrie will then activate Ivy during round two. Like that's almost a guarantee in my opinion. So we go here. I'm very, very thankful for 8 times speed. It really makes this mode a lot easier. So here we have it. And yeah, actually, well, Light survived to round 3. I think we're going to do really well here. My one concern is that I don't have anybody with big defense, and that was going to happen. I was concerned that Van Helsing was going to kill everybody, but I lucked out. Oh my gosh, it's so close. No. Oh, by the skin. Oh my gosh, yes. This is one of my favorite dark artifacts. I'm so glad I got this. Look how cool this one is. So at the start of each turn, a curse is applied to your enemies. So then all of your enemies take 30% more damage from you, and whatever shields they have is reduced by 50%. That is insane. Wand is such a good evil artifact. The curse lasts for 1 turn, and it can be dispelled. And when it's removed, the target's HP will fall below 50%. That's how I'm interpreting that. So when they fall below 50% of their max HP, the person holding it, will automatically have 40% of your HP healed. So if you get hit for 50% of your HP, you really only got hit for 10% of your HP. So just an overall fantastic artifact. I really like it. If you couldn't tell by me simping over it. Let's go ahead and get there. And 96, okay, we should have some. No, I'll go ahead and invest in the scythe. And then I will move the time stone to Ivy. And then put the scythe on Sage. Like I said, I probably have a whole bunch of people in the comment section like, what are you doing? You're a stupid person. All right. So I do want to get one more person on the team. We're getting up in level. And some things that are good, but I don't think at this point I should invest in. Oh, I really wish I could grab that, but I don't think that's a responsible choice right now. Hmm. If I could get a darkness or a chloris, I'd be very, very happy. Might have to, I'm going to grab him for now. Nope. All right. So I nabbed him because I was approaching close to 30 monies, and I just didn't know if I was going to get anybody else that was worth it. Oh, you know what? I'm really glad I grabbed him now because this team is all about controlling you. CC in the game means controlling. Like paralysis, confusion, silencing, things like that. Or Ivy's entanglement, Winterlord freezing you. So that's if this Black Knight Incinerus can, as you can see, Sage is no longer entangled or frozen, whatever he was. So that was very helpful. I'm actually glad I grabbed him now. All right. And yeah, if I had, okay, I can see now. If I did not have Incinerus, it would have been game over. There's no way we could have won. All right, cool. So we already have a Sage. And so I can sell this one and get us to 56 right out of the gate. Going to go ahead and press that. We get 11 more monies. I'm not going to get time right now. Oh, wow. And she's not that good in this mode, in my opinion. I'm going to get her for now, just in case I can get anybody better. Okay, you can still. Okay, so where I am, it's kind of hot. So my phone turned off the camera. So not that it matters. Like, oh no, I can't see his face. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Oh, I probably should have put OT Stone on Paladin, but let's see how that works out. Yeah, I should put OT Stone on Paladin. Oh well. Oh, it still worked out perfect. And yeah, I think that we're going to beat this one fairly easily. Nice. So this is ending up to being a pretty decent team. Usually don't use light, but she's doing well for what I need her for. Oh, another one I'm going to be selling right out of the gate. Goodbye. And challenge. All right. Hmm. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to sell light and put in Lucas instead. Oh, and he's got phantoms. That's fantastic. I'll stick with the one I have. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that makes me happy. Yeah, it's at level 30. So, oh wow, I didn't even equip the wand. What am I doing? So let's go ahead and put the wand where? Let's go. Oh, that's because I know I sold light. That's why. So I'll put the wand here for now. And Lucas will go right there. Yeah, that's a match made in heaven. I like that. So let's see how this turns out. Oh, and the reason I'm not skipping the matches, I just want to show some of the thought process and how some of the things work for some of the new players who might be here. And if there's only one player here right now, I can't see the chat, so I'm sorry if that's the case. Let's see. Wow, that is a tanky team. Having a hard time getting past that Giles, but slow and steady. That wins the race. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. All right. A free 15 monies. And You know what? I'm going to sell her and bring in camp instead. I think that's a better investment right now. All right, for the five. Oh, yes. All right. We got balance, everybody. Selling camp for her. Them. There's two of them. All right. That is so beautiful. Love that. And, you know what? I think that one will be better than the one I have. You know, I could invest in the pupil, but I want to try and get either Chloris or Darkness. So I'm just going to keep spending until I get one of them, or I lose money. All right. Paladin's out. We got Darkness. And so I hope that me going through and showing you how I go about this tactic, if there are some of you who are trying to figure out how to strategize around Galaxy Temple, I hope that this has been helpful. If I could get Baron is tempting. But you know what? I think I'm going to stick with Incinerus. Actually, you know what? I have balance. This is tough. Do I switch out? So because I have balance, do I switch out Ivy for Baron? You know what? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. It might be a really dumb mistake, but I'm gonna risk it. Let's go put Baron in there. And one more shot. All right, no Chloris, but still, pretty decent team. I'm liking it. So let's go ahead and give Wand to balance. That might help them stay alive longer. Going to give him the Time Stone, and him I'm going to give Scythe. Now that's a pretty decent lineup. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Go with that right there. Oh, you know what? No, what am I doing? I'm going to give Scythe to Darkness. She doesn't have anything. She's way more important than Baron. All right. All right. So right there, right there, right there, and right there. All right, let's see how it works. All right, looks like Indira's gone right out of the gate. That was pretty good. Yeah, not too bad of a team. I'm liking how this is turning out so far. I do miss Ivy. I do. I am still not sure if I made a mistake. Yeah, so I think that we're going to make short work of this. I don't feel like so in the next mode, for those who haven't played this yet, then you get to take your winning championship team and go up against other winning championship teams. I personally don't think that this team is going to do very well because our tank is Lucas and we weren't able to get Giles or Yi. Those would have been the ones I would have preferred. And I probably would have swapped out Lucas for one of those two. And if we could have gotten Chloris, I would have swapped out Baron for Chloris. But I mean, spilled milk. No, nothing to be sad about. So let's go ahead to the ranking challenge. My last team was garbage, so I'm surprised I'm still as high up as I am. And let's go ahead and see that this person has Yi, so I'm not too confident. And the other thing that stinks about this mode is that you can't change things around once you're where you are. So I was able to shut down Satan, Mecha Valkyrie, and Baron. That's pretty cool. That's basically all of their DPS. Oh, and the Wish. All right. Yeah, I think we're going to actually win this one. Wow. So that's one of the awesome things about balance. Balance, it's just like another level of controlling the other team. I think it's a lot easier for the pay-to-play crowd. If you can get yourself a balance, I highly recommend it. Balance is such a fantastic character in the game. Really game-changing. I mean, for those of you who were around when there was that glitch and we could play that one, the Stigmata Zone and the time travel mode, and balance was usable during that mode, you could see firsthand how OP balance can be. Yeah. Ooh, this guy here reminds me of like Magna Defender from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Um, so yeah, he's really good. I regret not having invested in him when I had the opportunity. I just didn't know how awesome he was. Yeah. Oh, here's Scuba Steve. He's another one of those massive, really strong whales in the game. Let's see if I can beat this one. And not to bore people, let's just go ahead and jump here. We use up our 10. I don't even know where I am. Holy cow. All right, let's go. Is this the one I was lost to? I can't remember. I jump from things so often. I had one guy in one of my YouTube comments when I was saying, I don't remember if I did this. Did I did this? He's like, holy cow, it's like I'm talking to a guy with Alzheimer's. Yeah, so I just jump from thing to thing, and I sometimes I don't pay attention. I forget. Yeah, I think this might be the end of the road for this team. Without Yi or Giles, it's just it's not looking too good in my opinion. The other teams are just too tanky. But anyway, that was fun. Let me go back to the chat over here then. All right, so we have the Golden Child. Are you related to Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? You the Golden God. Yeah, so we're just going over some tips and tricks in the game. We had some newer players who were asking some questions, and so we were going over it, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Irina counters balance, though. Oh, does she? Okay, I didn't think that that balance's control was affected by dispelling. So she is the direct counter to balance. Ah, okay, I can see now why she's so popular. Okay. All right. Thanks for telling me that. Like I said, I've been out of the loop for a lot of things. That's good to know. Thanks. All right. So I now have to stay about 15 minutes after work today to make up for staying after my break. But I think it was worth it. I had a lot of fun being able to do the what's it called? Yeah. Hey. So I had a lot of fun being able to do the Galaxy Temple with you all. Yeah. So if you are a veteran pigeon already, thank you so very much for being here during this video and being a part of this first live stream. It was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was a lot of fun for you. And if you are not yet a veteran pigeon, let me go ahead and that helped a little bit. If you're not yet a veteran pigeon, all you got to do is run over to Seeking Advice from Veteran Pigeons over on YouTube and subscribe. And then you will be a veteran pigeon, be able to put comments in the comments section and share your opinions, share your grieves in the game, even share fun things that are happening in your life. Yeah, but it was really fun. I look forward to go ahead and count on next Saturday. I'm going to try. I already have it scheduled out to do Saturday mornings from here on out. It just this weekend I have a lot going on with celebrating. I have 3-4 sets of dads that I celebrate Father's Day with. So it's going to be a really busy weekend. I hope all of you are able to celebrate Father's Day in one way, shape, or form, whatever it is. Maybe it's yourself, maybe it's for a father figure in your life, which includes like a mom or whoever who was a strong father figure for you. I hope that you're able to celebrate with your loved ones. Thank you so much for being a part of this, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace.